let's start off with the guy in charge, Rick Hendrick. 30 years of Hendrick Motorsports. The first time the media tour came to your place, there were portable heaters and plastic tents for people to stay warm in.
I guess when we did it, you know, I think back and it feels like, boy, 30 years has gone in a hurry. But when we introduced our first car, was on the showroom of City Chevrolet, and so it's been a great ride. But we're excited about all the things we've been able to accomplish. Appreciate all the friends I have in the sport, from the other owners and drivers and the media. Thank you guys, and our sponsors. So it's been a heck of a ride, and I hope I've got a few more. These guys got a lot more years. I don't know about me, but I think the tread's about off of my tires. But it's been a great. I can remember like yesterday when I was the youngest guy on pit road. Now I'm the oldest guy on pit road. So it's been a really fun trip.
All right, I hate for you to quantify, but can you give me a couple of top 2 or 3 moments right now in over 30 years? Well,
you know, all of them have been special, but what? Oh, Lord. I ain't going to tell you what he said. Anyway,
well, he's got a mic in his hand, so people might have heard it, but anyway.
He's being bad.
All right.
Now, I'd have to say, all that, you know, Daytona, first time, but to see Ricky win the inaugural truck race in Kansas will always be the one I'll remember the most. And and then there were so many more. I mean, we were talking about, laughing about stories with Schrader and Harry Hyde this morning, and golly, it's just been. But I'd say, you know, just the first championship, Jeff's first win, our first win at Martinsville, that kept us from closing the doors. So, you know, we were so fortunate today. I got to spend a day with one of our heroes. Bobby Bowden was up giving us our kickoff luncheon, and I've always been a big fan of his. And we were sharing stories about life's little twists and turns that if it hadn't been for this, hadn't been for that. But again, very thankful, and there's so many special moments. When I look back at the wins and look back at the championships, every single one of them are special.
Jeff, we were talking earlier, and you said that the drivers were all getting together for a special 30th anniversary gift or something like that. What are you doing for them?
Yeah, we were trying to do the math in there. Rick said he really, it's very seldom you find something that Rick doesn't already have.
Right.
And that new Corvette Z06, the number 1 VIN number, will be on the block at Barrett Jackson next year. He said he wants that. So we were all trying to figure out our percentage of what it's going to cost us. But we'd love to get that for them.
The drivers really wanted to pay the majority, but the crew chiefs raised their hands and said they really want to pay for it. So.
It was nice of them. It was very good. A lot more, as if making the chase wasn't enough pressure. Now you got to play for that. All right, we are going to open this up to questions right now to give you as much time as possible to ask questions from the audience of Mr. Hendrick and the 4 drivers up here. So please raise your hand, and we'll get a microphone to you as quickly as possible. Right here up front, Stan, and then back to Wolfgang.
For Rick, Stan Creekmore with RPMTonight.com. Rick, you've already said what your number 1 moment in all of racing is, and that's the win by your son. What's number 2? What comes even close to that?
Yeah, you know, it's again, I don't think it's fair to try to pick one. I'd have to say that if it wasn't for Jeff O'Dine winning Martinsville, we wouldn't be here. I mean, that's absolutely, you know, the first win in NASCAR, and the win that we had already decided that we couldn't go any further. And once you close the doors, very few organizations come back. So then, just sitting here right now, off the top of my head, if it wasn't for that win, we wouldn't. You know, I wouldn't be sitting here. These guys would be, but I wouldn't.
Now let's go back to Wolfgang, and then we'll go to Tom.
Wolfgang Monser from German Ranch Press Agency. A question for you, Rick. I think I asked you this question 2 years ago, and you said you had no interest, so I'd like to repeat it now, especially as one of your competitors is planning to enter Formula One in 2015. Is it still on your wish list, maybe?
No.
Okay, no follow-up needed to that. Casey, Super Bowl's right around the corner. You're a big Seahawks fan. I understand you have a charitable initiative that you are working with the Seattle Seahawks quarterback on. What's going on there?
Yeah, it's pretty exciting to be able to team up with Russell Wilson. We're going to do a charity golf tournament out in Seattle right after the Sonoma race, Monday and Tuesday after Sonoma. So he's going to get the Seahawks are going to be involved, and then hopefully we can get a couple of the drivers involved and have a really nice event out there for children. So excited to be part of that.
I'd have been there if they hadn't beat the 49ers.
You're protesting that? You're holding hard feelings?
Well, I love what he's doing. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Russell's amazing. No, I'm very supportive. Very supportive.
Are you going up to the
Just a little
game?
sad about my 49ers.
Casey?
49ers beat the Panthers. And you live in Charlotte.
No, I'm not going to the game.
Okay.
I just want to watch it from home.
All right. Other questions? Right here, Lewis, and then we'll go to Tom. Or Tom's already got a mic, so go ahead, Tom.
Hi, guys. Tom Jensen, FoxSports.com. For any of the four drivers, it looks like there's a very strong possibility that we'll come down to a Homestead winner-take-all scenario. Does that help or hurt any of you, and how do you feel about it?
Let's start with Jimmy. Let's start on the far end here. Let everybody tackle that.
Yeah, I mean, we'll all find out, I assume, in the near future if that's going to happen or not. I have to suspect it is with the fact they floated it out there to all of us. But, at the end of the day, I think my focus is on what is best for our sport. And we all know that change needs to happen. I felt like there was change in some other areas, maybe procedural changes to the weekend that were going to be the first ideas that came along that we would incorporate in, and we're seeing that in qualifying. But I was shocked to hear what was being proposed, and kind of caught me from left field, and was shocked to see all of that. But if that's the bullet that we need, then I'm for it. We need our grandstands full. We need the viewership numbers to be through the roof. We need our sponsors getting their best return on their investment. I don't know if this is it. We will find out. It's certainly going to be exciting and shake things up, and hopefully that brings the eyeballs to what we do.
Casey?
Yeah, I like the qualifying format. Brings a little more excitement to Friday, and basically an hour program there that, you get a few chances to make those laps and get a pole, so that's great. And then the points, I've been a little inconsistent, I would say, over the years, at times. So I'd say if anything, it helps me, I think it helps me a little bit and have a better shot to, make the chase and then maybe, go for the points at the end. So I like it. I think you have to keep, trying to keep as much excitement and things down to the wire as possible, because that's what people want to see these days.
Dale, your thoughts on all this change that seems to be sweeping through NASCAR?
Yeah, I just think it creates a lot of storylines, and that's good for the sport. Keeps the fan interest going throughout the season. So I'm excited about it. I wasn't really excited about change that much up until a lot of change started happening, and you kind of had to get used to it. But now let's change it all. So I'm all for it. So should be a lot of fun. I think it's going to be fun for the drivers, too. A lot of times we change things for the fans, and I think the drivers are going to enjoy some of this stuff as much as the fans are.
That may be the best quote on the media tour so far, by the way. Jeff, you've seen all these evolutions. What are your thoughts on it?
Well, I mean, it's all about entertainment, and I think that this is definitely a big step towards keeping the entertainment value very, very high. I love the qualifying procedure. I've been a big fan of knockout qualifying in Formula One for a number of years, and I think it's fantastic, and I can't wait for us to get that started. And still we got to walk through it a few times before we really see how it works in NASCAR. But I think all in all, everybody's going to be very entertained, including the drivers on that one. As far as the points, we'll see what the final decisions that they make. But again, it's going towards that entertainment value, and it sounds like that can be highly entertaining.
Let's go to Lewis, then we'll go here, then back to Jenna.
Lewis Frank, even though I write for Reuters, this is not a Formula One question. Rick, until you had your association with Dale, you didn't really have a full-time association in Nationwide. I was wondering why in 30 years, last 3-4 years it took you, and what do you hope to get some developmental drivers out of that for Hendrick Motorsports going forward?
Yeah, I had a developmental program a few years back. It almost broke me, but working with Dale, and we could see the need to growing younger guys throughout the organization, pit crews, and Chase is an example that we have a lot of faith in. Great young man. Think he's got a lot of opportunity ahead. So planning for the future, and Dale has had we've worked hard to get that deal where it is. Kelly has done an unbelievable job, and I think going forward we'll get a lot of talent. We'll grow a lot of talent out of that organization.
All right, let's go here, then we'll go back to Jenna.
Damian Sorlett with the Lynchburg News Advance. This one's for KC. Speaking of the Super Bowl, based off Instagram and Twitter, you and Kyle Busch have a little wager going on this weekend. Can you talk about that, and if either of you are actually going to hold up that end of the bargain during speed weeks?
Yeah, it's just whoever wins. I got the Seahawks, obviously, and he has the Broncos. So the other guy has to wear the jersey of the quarterback and a hat during one day of speed week. So I don't know. I'm hoping, the Seahawks pull it off, because I definitely don't want to wear an orange jersey down there. But yeah, it should be pretty fun, and to watch the game. I bet Kyle goes. I know he was at the last one, so I'm just going to stay home and watch it, though.
I will go back to Jenna, then over to Jim Utter.
Jenna Fryer, AP. Jimmy, you mentioned that you thought maybe you'd see some procedural changes first. I was wondering if you could expand on that and which procedural changes you'd like to see. And second, all these little tweaks and changes to the chase, this one seems a little bit more of an overhaul. Do you ever get the feeling that this is all just an attempt to stop you from winning?
It's crossed my mind, I'm not going to lie. But when I look at the years we've won championships, we won a lot of races. We won a lot of races in the chase. In the way this format plays out, we would have that opportunity come Homestead. So this could be something very good for us. So if we can keep our stats like they've been, and the process that we've used to win championships, it could be very good for us. The procedural stuff, I thought we would see. NASCAR's been very concerned about something gimmicky that would take place during a race, and we've all have heard a variety of ideas. But I felt, and maybe it was more my opinion than anything, I thought that if you take a 4-hour window of time, our TV window, and have heat races that rolls over into a feature, there seemed to be some momentum, and also the fact that plays on the roots of what happens Saturday nights and Friday nights all around the country. So when big change was coming, that's where my mindset was, and the conversations I had was heading more towards that package, and to hear that it's a complete overhaul on the points kind of surprised me.
Well, let's go to Jim Utter, then we'll go in the back. Jim?
Jim Utter, Charlotte Observer. This question's for Rick. Who do you think wins in a potential all-Hendrick winner-take-all Final Four race at Homestead?
You really think I'm going to answer that?
He wins.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine how many Tums he's going to eat during the course of that race if that happens?
I would be sitting on pit road with James Finch drinking champagne when they started the race.
That sounds like a very good plan. Where's our mic back? In the back, please.
Hey, guys. Chad Rock from Fox 46, the new Fox affiliate here in Charlotte. It's going to be on 46 this year. Any thoughts about the new rule package for the car? How does that feel to you guys? I know you've done some testing and stuff like that. Can you feel a huge difference? Do you like it? Do you not like it? What do you think?
Who wants to tackle that? Jeff?
Well, Jimmy, I know, has tested it, so
Okay.
I'd probably let
Jimmy, you want to
answer
go
that.
with that?
Do we have a rules package yet?
Potential
I
rules.
think Daytona we have under control, and that's the same. But if the rules do head towards the zero ride height front end, I think it really opens up an area to work. it's going to be very easy to officiate, and that's going to be a welcome thing because cars being low post race and being out of spec there is just really an unnecessary penalty or fine that's put on a race team. You know, we race the cars at 0 ride height, period, and the only reason the car is up, the only time the car is up is at inspection height. So it will be nice to not have to work around that. But in the process, in going through the testing that we've done recently, springs, shocks, now we have bump stop changes we can make, a different bump stop style package. There's a lot of areas to work and a huge opportunity for whoever gets it right, if that rule is in place.
Dale, you finished with a lot of momentum last year. It's a question gets asked a lot. Can you carry that over from the off season, or does what happened in 13 stop when 14 begins? Is there any way to pull that through?
Well, you take the confidence with you into the next season, but how hard you work in the off season and how you sort of get ahead of the curve with the rule changes that may come really sort of set you up for success or failure when the season starts. And you know, at Hendrick Motorsports, we've always been one of the teams that seems to get ahead of the curve before everybody else. So I feel pretty confident going into this year, no matter what the changes are, that we'll be able to tackle them with ease. And our particular team, the 88 car has gotten better in the last 3 years each year. So we expect to keep that trend.
When they met backstage earlier, Rick was addressing the whole group, and I'm going to tell the small story out of school. He said, guys, he's looking at the stat sheet. He says, we have 198 polls, so somebody's got to get 2 more in a hurry here because apparently you're a big fan of round numbers. First off, thanks for being here and bringing your whole team, and I know you had a couple of closing statements as you get ready to head into your 30th season here.
No, I just, again, I think I said it early, the sponsors here, thank you for the support over the years, and all the drivers and friends that we've met in the sport, the media for covering our sport. And, I think my mind will take me places. I'll use one of Bill Francis' quotes. My mind will take me places my body won't go, but I think we've got a lot left, and I'm looking forward to the next few years and excited about the season. You know, you get tired when you get to Daytona, or you finish at Homestead and you celebrate, and you have Christmas, and then you're ready to go back to Daytona. So looking forward to this year. I think we're going to have I think it's going to be one of the best years in NASCAR racing that we've seen in a long time. So we're ready to get started.